How's it going, growers, and welcome to the second episode of Growing Stillwater. In this installment of our Transplanted podcast, we embark on a journey to Windy Acres Garden, a natural haven nestled in the heart of Stillwater, Oklahoma. I'm your host, Moose, a first-generation natural lettuce farmer, and joining me today is the delightful Poppy Doodle's better half, Summer. In this captivating episode of our podcast, we delve into the remarkable journey of a couple whose love story blossomed amidst the fertile fields of Stillwater. Join us as we explore their experience from the nostalgic days of OSU in 1966 to cultivating a bountiful relationship grounded in shared passion for gardening and farming life. Today we have the pleasure of chatting with Nancy and Tom Stevens, a retired couple who've cultivated Windy Acres Garden, a thriving natural farm in Stillwater, for over 7 fruitful years. Their green thumb experience extends beyond Windy Acres, with a remarkable 20 years growing in Stillwater, selling their produce both on their farm and at the local Stillwater Market. Join us as we dive into the rich tapestry of their experience, learn about natural farming practices, the vibrant community in Stillwater, and gaining insight into the unique challenges and joys of farming a relationship. Get ready to grow with us. Whether you're a seasoned farmer, a budding enthusiast, or simply curious about the growth happening in Stillwater, this episode promises to be a delightful blend of horticulture wisdom and heartfelt anecdotes.
Okay, well, I'm Tom Stevens. Used to work for OSU in the agronomy department in peanut breeding and management. And since retired, just got taken over the garden she had started. And it's kind of grown a little bit since then.
And I'm Nancy Stevens. I used to work for the State Department of Career Tech and in the computer area. We started out with a little garden in our backyard and that I'd grow tomatoes and stuff in, and then we kind of grew. Once he retired, he sort of took over the gardening, and so then when I retired, we joined the farmers market and did that for a while, and it was fun. Really enjoyed it, but then age catches up with you.
Yeah, farming is not easy on the body.
It's not, especially in the summertime when you need to have some energy.
Yeah. So I was reading you guys went to school in like around 1960 or 70.
Yeah.
66, 70.
I started in 66.
Okay.
He was.
What was OSU like back then?
Not nearly as big as it is now.
Yeah. A lot more buildings and the stadium, obviously.
Yeah.
And how did you learn about growing, and what made you start growing for others?
Well, for me, anyways, my mother and daddy had a garden all the time I was growing up, and I was not interested in it. I mean, I just knew we had food on the table. But after I kind of got married and had my own kids and, I kind of got to craving that fresh garden food. And so got into just growing stuff in the backyard. And then when he retired, we bought this place here and started a garden out here and eventually moved out here. So.
Did both of your families grow? Was that a part of your lives when you were growing up?
Well, they never really made that big a deal out of it, but Dad worked in an oil field, and always all the pumpers and all that there always had a little garden out to one side. And we bought 5 acres when I was in junior high. Mm-hmm. And moved out of town and had a garden out there, and my brother and I had a few sheep and cattle, and all we exhibited and showed around.
So just like the norm, just like what you did, right?
Yeah. And the garden increased a little bit when we had the acreage, and of course we had chickens and stuff too.
Yeah, and I heard did you guys meet at the choir, or
No.
Did you guys do choir together?
Well, we sang in a choir together. He sings bass, I sing alto.
That's awesome.
And we sang in the community singers for a long time.
Excellent.
And they're still going.
That's so cool.
But really, we met. He picked me up on the street corner. That's what we always tell people, because he was going to school here at OSU, and I grew up in Arkansas, so sometimes my accent comes through. But I was out here the summer between my junior and senior year on a national scholarship for high school students. I was a pretty good student, and my brother decided I'd be a candidate for this. So anyways, I ended up out here for 6 weeks. My pastor at my church back at home just knew I was just going to go wild in a big college town and everything, little country girl. And so he called the pastor of the church Tom was going to out here and asked him if he could invite me to church. Yeah. Pastor called me and say he was going to send me a couple of college guys out to pick me up to be on, in front of Willard Hall at this certain time on Sunday morning. So I was, and sure enough, these 2 college guys picked me up on the street corner and took me to church.
That's awesome.
That's how we met.
That was my first year up here, and worked out at the sheep barn. And my roommate is the only one that had a car, so we went down there and picked her up on the street corner and took her to church.
So I was in high school, he was in college, and we wrote back and forth. Then he came to see me one time. He had a buddy that he'd met here that lived down close to where I lived, and I don't know, we dated with him and his girlfriend, and I don't know, then we kept writing and ended up getting married. So
that's great. Yeah.
We've been married a long time.
You guys still you sing together here in the house, or
no.
Do you do any choir anymore? Or?
No, we went, once we got out of we sang in a church choir, and we sang in the community singers, and we were trying to do the garden and farmers market and all at that time.
Takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I think they practiced on Thursday nights or something. And
talking on the market, how long did you guys participate in the Stillwater Market?
Well, I was trying to figure that out. 4 or 5 till just 2 or 3 years ago. 10 years at least.
Wow. Okay.
And you were secretary?
I was for a while, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
That's a job nobody else wanted.
Yeah.
Because that's
lots of writing and
writing
typing.
and.
What would you say is your favorite crop? Hopefully you have different ones. Maybe you have the same one.
Well, I kind of like beans and peas because they're easy to grow and easy to harvest.
Mm-hmm. Every time I come over here, you're shucking them, right?
Yeah. I have a picture of him asleep in his chair over there. He was going like this and shelling peas, and he had a pea in his hand.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice if you could shell peas in your sleep?
Pick peas in the morning and shell them in the afternoon.
Yes.
Nice. What about you, Nancy?
Well, I like to grow herbs, and I guess basil is my favorite herb.
You like to cook a lot, right?
Yeah, I do. I cook. Usually I use a recipe as a guide. I may take 2 or 3 recipes and kind of put them together and come up with something edible.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we love to cook with our food, and we've got a little bit of herbs. We've got parsley and a little bit of cilantro, and we're trying to incorporate those. Fresh herbs are so much better than store-bought.
Right. Got a new dehydrator for Christmas, so I'm going to try to dehydrate them.
We can do a podcast on dehydrated. I got into dehydrating stuff this winter. I've got...
Well, we actually wanted to talk to you about another topic that we have failed at. But, she's been more successful than I will say that. How important do you think homegrown food is to your family and
I cringe at buying fresh vegetables and stuff in the stores. I don't know where they've been or what's been on them. And
right.
I'd just rather,
I'll say our oldest granddaughter's in college. She's always coming over here and getting canned green beans.
Great.
It's so nice.
Yeah, I hope to grow what feeds my children. I hope they come. If they go away for a period of time, I hope they come back and eat.
Yeah. Even feeding grandkids in college.
Right, exactly.
She's got a new roommate now, and she was asking me if we would like some help with the gardening this summer, that she would love to help.
Awesome. Yeah. See, as a new farmer trying to join a new ag industry, do you have any advice for first-time growers that want to participate in selling to the market or to restaurants or just getting started? Any advice for them?
Well, you just have to jump in and do it. And I always say the thing about gardening is I mean, you need to read and see what works for other people, but, different farms have different kinds of soils and, and all. And, we've been building our soil for how many years, with compost and, a long time. And
I watched the YouTube video of you composting.
Yeah.
With the tractor, I think. That was pretty awesome.
I used to drive the tractor.
I was like,
do
is that
much
Nancy on the
anymore.
tractor?
Yeah. She used to work out her frustrations, come home from work and get on the tractor, go out and turn the compost.
That sounds
That's
nice.
awesome. That
Yeah.
sounds fun.
Yeah, it was cool. You had gotten some scraps from the Good Little Eater.
Yeah.
And then you brought in here.
Yeah,
Back in 2010, I think. Is when it was.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you, I mean, I know like it was probably a smaller business, right? Like the farmer's market.
Yeah,
It was
we just kind of grew
Wednesdays
into
and
it.
Saturdays. How did you guys continue to like work together and not, get on each other's nerves?
Well, we'd have to kind of.
Yeah, my question was, what's the key to a happy farm relationship?
That's why I kind of do the stuff up around the house and the herbs and
Yeah.
little stuff, and he does the big garden out there because we get crosswise sometimes.
Yeah. So setting good boundaries.
Yes.
Well, we do pretty good.
Yeah, we do.
I'd say so. So yeah, I guess we kind of touched on it, but I've come over and got a starter from you and had an attempt at trying to do sourdough.
Yes.
And for Christmas,
do it.
I got a lot more tools to try and help her. 'Cause
You
she's
ruined
now
the starter,
interested.
so I've brought an
Okay.
empty jar.
I can give you some more.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got the recipe now that
Okay, good, because I've tried to start my own.
I've
But
tried to do sourdough for many years and had these kind of flat, kind of spongy loaves. I can get them real poofed up now. So
nice. Okay.
So I've got the recipe, and I'll tell you about
I
it
had been trying
afterwards.
to do a starter on my own. I was like, I'm going to go straight into trying to build my own starter. And so I've been like feeding it twice a day and all that, and it's just not working.
Yeah, I'll give you some pointers.
Okay.
But yeah, we got our starter from John Homer's wife. Have you?
That's what I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
is if you've built your own already.
Start with a good starter, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Don't try to build your own like I did right off the bat.
well, I didn't. I'm for shortcuts if it saves
Yeah,
time.
me too. I know. Yeah, I mean,
Awesome. Yeah, we thought about it. I think the Amish store. What
Down
is
at
it?
Perkins.
Yeah, well, not. It's over by the greenhouse.
Oh,
big country.
okay.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
But
okay.
they have. I noticed that they have sourdough starters there in the fridge.
okay.
So I guess if you get Janine one.
How long have you been making sourdough?
It's probably been 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I I got some starter from a gal I know, and I piddled with it for a while, and there's some Facebook groups called, and one of them is Perfect Sourdough, and that's very helpful. You ask a question on there, and you'll get 100 answers.
All saying different things.
Yeah, right. And so, but I kept trying, and sometimes my sourdough stays in the refrigerator for weeks. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't bake during the summertime; it's just too hot.
Yeah.
And you can always revive it. It just takes a little bit of effort and several feedings. And then I also don't use white flour. I use a combination of whole wheat flour and maybe a little bit of rye flour. Makes it more active. I don't know.
Okay.
I just had better luck using that.
Why did you start doing sourdough versus just regular bread? And do you still bake regular bread or?
Well, I have a bread maker, and if I want to do something quick and easy, I might put something in there. I don't tend to like just regular white bread, so I never make anything like that. But I have a cranberry walnut bread that I enjoy making, but it's a yeast bread. You use yeast. But the sourdough thing about sourdough is you just need the starter. You don't need all this other stuff. You just need the starter, and you add the starter plus flour and water, and then it's just a miracle.
And
it
it
just
has that like
grows.
really good yeasty taste to it, like.
Takes on a life of its own.
Yeah, we love fermented foods and sourdough. I didn't have it much in Germany. You guys have been to Germany?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a
Dog-
bunch of baked
Son's
breads,
gonna do it.
brooches,
Yeah.
and stuff, and yeah, it tastes completely different than over here.
Yeah.
And people over there think it's funny that we have bread that lasts that long.
So obviously I have a lot of discard now.
Yes.
Because I was not doing well.
Uh-huh.
And so I saw you
Your
feeding it
chickens
to your
will eat it.
chickens.
Your
You
chickens
can
will
just
eat
give
it.
them the straight
Yes,
up discard.
they just give them, if you
Nice.
get too much, supposed to be
Cool.
good for them. At least what I read said it was.
Okay. And then how do you like keep on top of your starter? Like do you just
I just keep it in
Set a
the
reminder?
refrigerator until I get ready to use it. And if it's been in there a long time, I might have to feed it, a couple of days, to get it kind of active
Back up.
again. And then,
Okay.
then I make my bread and then I put it back in the refrigerator until I want to do it again.
Cool. Awesome.
Our randomizer. So would you like to choose a
Just gonna
card?
shake them up.
We'll just see what we get here. This
Can
is
I
a
have
new.
several here. Gosh.
Just take the top one.
If you don't like it, then let me know and we'll switch you out.
Okay. Oh dear. If your partner filled in for you at work, what would happen? Nothing.
Because you're
I thought that
retired.
very computer literate.
Well, when I was working, I was a computer person,
Oh,
I did
yeah.
computer programming and stuff, and he shies away. I'm the techie person in the family. So he would just sit and twiddle his thumbs all day, I
Not
guess.
know what to
Play
do.
solitaire on the computer.
True. Yeah.
That's a good one. Give one to Tom.
Okay. Okay, what's the craziest thing we've ever done together?
Boy.
First thing that enters my mind is driving back that night from Bartlesville.
Oh, yes.
Our youngest son was his scoutmaster and lived in Bartlesville for a while. And it was getting toward dark, and we were driving back. We would take a 2-lane road, over to Ponca City, and I mean there wasn't anything on that road. There were no houses, no lights, nothing until we came to a stoplight. I think that was the first light we came to on the whole trip.
Yeah, except we saw the railroad lights blinking off in the distance, but we didn't know what it was. It was just this blinking red
Yeah.
light. We thought we were getting captured by aliens, but
I feel like we were on a road like that the other day. It
It
was
was a
like,
dark night.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
was
well, I
quite a
guess it
trip.
was out through the Osage County
Oh,
up there,
yeah. Yeah.
and there just weren't any lights at all out there.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question. What is the number one thing that you can do to keep a marriage alive?
Work in the garden. What did you say? What did you say? I don't know. We did we have a lot of separate interests, but we also have things we do together. We used to go to some, seminars over in Poto at the Kerr Center.
Yeah, the Kerr Center.
Over
Okay.
there.
Then we go to the HIS meeting
And we'd go to the
every year.
HIS is Horticulture Industry Society or something like that, and west side of Arkansas and east
Yeah.
side of Oklahoma.
Also at Fort Smith.
Yeah, basically, and we go to those together, and
They're always first part of January.
it gives us some good ideas and different seminars and tours and various things we enjoyed doing together. So
Awesome. Yeah, we loved. We got a camper and we drag the kids out and go out in the woods anytime we can. Arkansas. We did the Ale Trail in Arkansas.
oh wow,
By the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. It's like a passport. Actually, we went to the most sustainable brewery or was it business? In Arkansas. It was a brewery. And they used like chain winches to hoist large grain bags to the top of this barn. And then he would drop the grain that was already milled into chutes down into the brew house. And then he would make his batch on the middle level. And after fermentation, he would, feed it down into the basement, which was his cellar. And yeah, it was a really cool place. He grew hops. He had a little hop
Wow.
yard.
I grew some hops one time when we lived in town.
I hope to.
You traveled to Germany a couple of times too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when our son was in the military, he was stationed over there.
Yeah.
We went over there.
Derek was stationed in Germany.
Yeah, and then Margaret, her high school class,
Yeah,
she took German in high school, and they had a field trip over there one summer.
we were
We rented
chaperones.
chaperone.
Oh, cool.
But,
Yeah. What was your favorite part about Germany?
well,
If you can remember something.
gosh,
The cut.
see, that's a long time ago too. We lived. He lived in an apartment above a German family's
Oh,
home,
cool.
so we got to meet them.
Cool.
He lived
And,
off base.
And it was just kind of neat not to be in a doing touristy things. We
Yeah.
just did things and we went to some Christmas markets and
Oh, you're
That's our
speaking my love
favorites,
language.
Yeah.
Glühwein.
Yeah,
and
did you have
Glühwein.
mulled wine? Yeah, mulled wine is so
and
good.
wine, and that was awful. I thought it was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, me too. Glühwein's real bad.
I used to be on Christmas Day. Of course, there wasn't anything open. And for Christmas dinner, we just had a couple of boxes of macaroni and cheese mix that he had in the
Because
pantry.
he was
That's all they had.
That's all they have.
army guy.
Because everything-
he
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
prepared to shop for Christmas or
Right.
anything. We had macaroni and cheese for Christmas.
That's not too bad.
Yeah,
That sounds like a soldier.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's all the questions that
Okay,
we
yeah.
have for
Well,
today.
there.
But yeah, no, we're excited to see what you guys are growing next year. And thank you for your time today. This was a lot of
Thank
fun.
you for coming.
Yeah.
We're flattered.
And thanks for helping us out.
Yeah, sure.
As new farmers,
yes.
we need good friends. and
You guys were really super helpful this year. Just felt like you guys really, welcomed us with open arms and really helped us
Yeah.
out a lot. So we really
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We enjoyed
Yeah.
doing it.
So let's spread the seed of growth. If you found today's episode inspiring, share it with friends, family, and colleagues. Together we can cultivate a garden of wisdom, compassion, and growth in Stillwater and beyond. Until next time, as we conclude the episode of Growing Stillwater, remember that growing is a journey, not a destination. We look forward to reconnecting with you in our next exploration of life, learning, and the beautiful tapestry of experiences that shape us. Tune in and grow with Growing Stillwater.